welcome to the Wiretap Whisper Podcast. This is the first episode of a series of ASMR creator focused podcast videos where I'll be introducing lots of different ASMR creators across the space to you guys. We'll be talking all about, obviously, ASMR, the creators' experiences with ASMR, obviously the creators themselves, hobbies and interests, and then everything in between, to be honest. This is obviously the first episode, so there's going to be lots of teething problems, learning experiences, things like that. So the podcast will evolve as I get more episodes under my belt. So please bear with me. But yes, today is the first episode, and we are joined by the lovely LIZZIE LESTRANGE ASMR.
Hi, thanks for having me.
So for those of you guys who aren't familiar with LIZZIE, obviously she is a ASMR YouTuber. She currently has 15 videos published on her channel and just under 20,000 subscribers. And I think I'm right in saying that you've been making videos for just over 4 months, something like that, right?
Yeah, I think about that, yeah.
And I think if I was to summarize, like a focal point for your content, it's mainly role players and cosplayers, right? With a heavy influence on fantasy.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I actually started out not really sure what route I would go. So I just sort of asked people, what sort of thing do you want to see? And it was pretty much all role play. And I was like, I can do that. I have many costumes.
Yeah. I think you guys will see as we get more into the podcast that LIZZIE is very artistic, and I think that shows a lot in her videos.
Thank you.
But yeah, the one thing actually, just to rewind a little bit, is a question I want to ask everyone that comes on. Is it's a simple question, but it can be quite tricky to answer on the spot. So don't worry if you struggle with it. But it's the question is, who are you today?
Who am I today?
There's no right or wrong answer.
No, that's quite a deep question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm always usually myself, but today I'm a storyteller because I just read a lovely book for one of my YouTube videos I've just finished filming. But to be honest, most days I can be somebody else, dressed like somebody else, at least anyway.
You're ever changing, basically.
Always. Yeah, I'm like a chameleon. I'm always myself inside, but on the outside, it could be anybody.
That's a good answer. I think yeah, I just like that question. I actually stole it. What's it called? Guilty plug. I actually stole it from another podcast, but I think it's a really great way of getting the creator to describe who they are. I think I'll get some unique answers.
Yeah, I've never been asked that before. It could be a really thought-provoking question. I could go on for hours about that one.
Yeah. I guess it's just like what comes to the forefront of your mind when you think about yourself, which is something I guess we don't do a lot of the time, right?
Yeah, massively, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, we're going to start in the past, then talk a bit about the present, and then obviously end with the future. So I guess a great place to start would be, how did you stumble across ASMR, the ASMR space, the community? What happened there?
So, I guess I had my first experience with ASMR when it wasn't actually called ASMR. I guess it was just, it started actually when I was really young and would listen to cassette tapes, the old cassette tapes. And because I always struggled to sleep, yeah. The OG. and I always struggled to sleep as a child. Sadly, it's not something I grew out of. So I would listen to cassette tapes to help me sleep, and it would be The Wind in the Willows, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, like British classics, I guess. And that helped to some extent. And then when I got a phone and got older, I found YouTube, and I would watch videos of people just making things, you know, like an art journal or something, or I don't know, playing with Lego or something. And they seemed to really relax me, but it wasn't called ASMR then. It was just kind of like quiet, relaxing videos. I didn't really have a name, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the same with cosplay as well. I just called it dress up. It wasn't really called cosplay when I started doing it years ago. Not that I knew of. But yeah, that's pretty much how I got into it. And I've been watching it, you know, since then. And I guess during lockdown, I finally thought I really would like to try this myself since I've been watching it for so long.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people had that like epiphany to start the channel, right? I think I was definitely the same. It was like I've got so much time and
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, like why not go for it?
Yeah.
I won't get too much into my story because it's about you. But yeah, that's so was it more like because I know there's like a lot of like ambient videos like ambience and stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
Was it stuff like that you were watching?
Yeah, to be honest, it was a mixture because I didn't really know what it was. I just tried to find specific videos that did make me like calm down and relax and not get so anxious. And I guess there was a few channels where I'd refer back to because a lot of their videos were shot in a similar style. But it was, yeah, even lighting, you know, lighting's quite a big trigger for people. Even things like with low lighting helped massively. And then even on your phone now, you can get, what is it, blue light or something? That's really good. So if you're trying to watch something, like if you like the visual triggers, that's quite good.
Yeah.
But yeah, back in the day, it was just cassette tapes. And
Yeah.
it's evolved so much. So
Yeah, I think you touched on it a little bit there, but like one of my later questions was, was it was like ASMR or this unintentional ASMR as you first discovered it as, was it an outlet for like mental issues, like you said, like anxiety and stuff like that? Is that the main reason you look to it?
To begin with, it was, I guess, just because I couldn't sleep, like because of insomnia. But it's actually a great tool for if you do have anxiety. And that's something that I have grown up with, as I'm sure many people have. I'm better at it now, controlling it now. But there is still times when, you know, if something really bad happens in your life, for example, you can't help but feel stress, even just stress. A lot of people, I'm sure, can relate. When stressed from work or something, or like I used to be a bartender, so I used to watch them. I would come in at like 3 in the morning, and my whole world was turned around because of my working hours. So I used to heavily rely on them then for stress relief after work, and you know, because
Yeah.
it's a really busy environment, it's very loud all the time.
Yeah, it's just the
Just
opposite
to wind
environment for you.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a great tool for that. Even just something as common as stress that a lot of people suffer with, it's great to just manage that, really.
Um, yeah, I think like that's like one of the magical things about ASMR and like the community in general. It's just it is that safe place for people that need it,
Mm, yeah.
whether they are struggling mentally or maybe they just want a sense of relaxation um or
Mm,
love in some with some videos
yeah.
for sure. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I know a lot of people seek community from it as well, which is really nice because it is probably one of the nicer communities that I know of. I know some communities can be quite cutthroat,
yeah.
but ASMR is very accepting, very welcoming, and I'm relatively new still, so it's been really lovely, and people have been amazing. really quite shocked by how nice strangers can be, really. So
Yeah, I totally get that. And I think like one of the things with making my channel was like to make it openly apparent, like how inclusive it was for
mm,
for people of any gender, ethnicity, sexual orientation, like
yeah,
things like that.
yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
and like I said, I think as a whole, like the community definitely does a good job of doing that.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely one of the more accepting ones, which I'm quite proud of, really. And people like yourself that reached out to me, and normally I guess like I was quite alone with my hobbies and cosplay and things, but when
Mhm.
I got into the ASMR community, yourself and a few others reached out to me, which was really nice and such a lovely surprise because it's not something I was used to. And people like yourself, you create communities within it, which is amazing, and it's really lovely to be part of that, really.
That's really nice. Yeah. I think yeah, I completely relate to that. When I first entered this space, there's just a lot of nice people that reach out and offer help and stuff like that. So,
Mm, yeah.
um, okay. So, I guess the next question would be, I guess you've kind of touched on it already, but what were the main motivations for starting your channel? Like I know obviously you were a big fan of it yourself,
Mm,
and that was one of the reasons why I started it. But
yeah.
yeah, what was some of the other motivations behind the decision?
Well, a big one, I suppose, would be I always feel like I have to be creating something. And if it helps other people, I know we all probably go into it thinking, oh, I want to help everybody. We hope
Yeah.
that we do, at
Hmm.
least. And it's helped me. And it's helped me for many years without people even knowing, really. I was never one to comment a lot on people's videos because I was quite shy.
Same.
But if I could collect all the comments I would have sent had I not been so shy, that would be endless because I've watched so many videos that have helped me. Um, but yeah, I wanted a creative outlet. And being in lockdown, obviously, I thought I wanted to make something positive out of it. And the world felt like it was so chaotic on the outside, in a sense. I wanted to create like a peaceful place
Yeah.
within my house. And even creating these videos has turned sort of being stuck inside into a more positive thing because it makes me think I need to actually be inside to do these anyway.
Hmm.
So in that way, I don't feel like I'm locked in. I feel like I have chosen
Yeah.
to do it, even though we have to be. It's like I've had the choice. I've put ownership on being inside, and I've thought I want to make these videos. I want to reach out to people with these videos if they need help, like I did. And I suppose that was a big motivator, really. And I was very shy actually in the beginning because if you see my first video, and I've not deleted it,
Hmm.
it's still there. I don't show my face and I don't speak in it because I was really shy. But even that video, people were really sweet, and I kind of thought, okay, maybe I'll talk now. But for a long time, I never spoke on anything really, like even Instagram.
Yeah.
Um, and then I finally gave into it, and people were so nice, and I thought, I wish I'd done this sooner.
Yeah. No, like that acceptance is just it's just a really nice moment.
Yeah,
But
it
I think
really
like
is.
you touched on your first video, like you've got to keep it there because it's like your first car. Like
It's your baby, isn't it?
you'll
It's your
never forget.
baby. And
Yeah.
even though it's like, oh, that poor video, I look at it sometimes and think, oh, I really want to silence you, but I won't. I'll leave it.
Yeah. Like I think I'd die of a cringe attack if I watch mine again. But it's a special moment, right?
Yeah, it's lovely. And people probably still like to see that. It's quite endearing to see how long you've sort of gone with it, how far you've gone with it rather.
Yeah.
And how your videos progress, because it doesn't always start out amazing. Like I had technical issues in that first one. Actually, I've never told anyone this, but in that video I didn't have my Yeti microphone even plugged in because I didn't know how it worked.
Oh no.
And I had the microphone from my camera instead. Luckily, it's actually a good microphone, and I don't think you can tell. But I was like, I didn't even have it on.
Oh no.
And then in the next video, I was like, okay, I need to find out actually how to work this thing because I have no technical knowledge of it. I'm just, everything I do is self-taught.
Yeah.
So I was like, I actually just sit and actually figure this thing out. I've never done audio, but I never filmed a video before. Like that first video where I was tapping and whatnot in the first video, that's the first video I've ever taken in my whole life that's not on an iPhone or something.
Yeah.
So I had no idea. But
completely relate.
I learn with each video. Yeah.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Like if you don't take anything out of making your own channel, it's like at least you'll learn like technical stuff like I do.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and some of the comments as well, they're like, I've had one, I think, where they were like, I think your audio is a bit dodgy. And I was like, you're right, it so was. But that's fine, it's better now.
Yeah.
But people have been really helpful actually with the constructive comments. Honestly, people have been really nice and there's not really been that many, but the people that have really helped me because, like, for example, with the audio levels, I'm not always sure how loud it is on their end. Especially because I've changed from editing on a laptop to a PC. I've never had a PC before.
Yeah.
So halfway through my channel, I've completely switched what I edit on. So everything is like different now with editing, and people have been really sweet about, you know, maybe do this next time. So that's really helpful.
That's really nice.
But yeah, people are great. They really are really helpful.
I remember, I think I had a run of like 5 or 6 videos where they were like binaural videos, and I was editing them with my headset on the wrong way around. So what I thought was the left ear was actually coming out the right ear. And like I remember now, like no one actually told me in the or made like a big thing about it in the comments, which I was so thankful for.
Oh yeah, you know, that's another thing because I've noticed a couple of things watching a video back. Like if somebody says, "Oh, like this is an interesting bit," I'm like, "Oh, which bit's that?" And I'll look at it and I'll think that was actually a mistake. And I'm like, "Oh, they've not really said that it's a mistake. They've just thought it was an interesting bit." And I'm I meant to do it. But
I love it.
But yeah, that's so because whenever I did like a medical exam sort of thing, I did one in my Fallout video. I've never said it yet. I'm gonna, like, you know, when they're like, "Oh, I'm just gonna check your right ear or check your left ear." I never say right or left because I don't yet know which is which on the flip. And I'm so scared that I'll mess up the whole video. So I'm like, I'm just going to check the other ear now. And then I'm going to do the other ear. And I'm just like, can you just turn your head?
I'm the same. I'm like,
I won't do it yet because I need to figure it out first before I actually do that.
Well, for me, it's like Inception trying to work it out because in post, I flip the image anyway because I'm a bit self-conscious of how I look the other way. So I can't even like work it out.
That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I suppose you could flip it, couldn't you? Actually. But yeah, I still can't figure it out.
Oh yeah, like if you don't flip it normally, then if you said the wrong ear, you could just flip the image.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it would be right.
Yeah. But I know what you mean because I think I look different on the flip side too, slightly maybe. And then people would be like, "Why is your fringe the other side?" I'd be like, "Oh, I just wanted to change my hairstyle," or like, "Why is your like tattoos on the other side?" You know, because I've got a tattooed arm. So if I was to flip it, people would be like, "That's weird."
Yeah.
But yeah, quite noticeable.
Okay. So obviously you had your motivations and driving forces behind starting the channel, but did you have any like early expectations for it, or was it just kind of like suck it and see type of thing?
Oh, I had absolutely zero. In fact, I had negative, if that could even be possible. I kind of thought, I'm gonna put this out and it's probably gonna bomb and people are probably gonna be like, "You're so weird," or something. You know, you build up these like these negative whisperings of like, "Oh, your video is going to do terrible and people are going to think you're mega weird." But I put it out anyway because, well, I thought I've been a cosplayer for about 9 years now. The people already know I'm weird, hence my name, Strange. And people have been relatively accepting of that. So there was the flip side of people already know I'm I do this sort of thing, so it's not that weird. But then the other side of it is, but this is a whole new community with new people, and I'm new to that, so we'll see how it goes. But no, I had negative 0 expectation because I just wanted to put something out, and if it didn't do well, at least I made it. I think as well, I enjoy, not always, I'll admit, it sometimes is quite stressful with the technology, but I do enjoy making things. So putting it out there is just kind of a bonus, because it's like, I've really enjoyed making this. The process of it. The next step is just like, oh, I'll put it out there, and if people like it, they can like it. If they don't, that's fine too. So I always look at it as, I just want to make the thing. Putting it out there is just for other people if they want it. It's just there if they want it,
Yeah.
But people have been really, really nice. Kind of, that's lovely.
I think that's just testament to how talented you are.
Oh, bless you.
At all aspects of the video creation process, but like, for me, sometimes like I just get excited like about editing like a specific video. Like I can't wait to like watch this back. I mean, sometimes that's not like a a foolproof thing. Like sometimes I'll cringe watching myself back, but yeah, I know what you mean. It's like,
I know, I hate it. I'm like, gosh, you're so annoying, Elizabeth. Like I'll be like, oh, you like I'll say something and I'll be like, oh, you sound so pretentious, but I'll leave it in.
Yeah.
But it's just the characters, really. It's just the characters. So.
And I guess the last thing I wanted to touch on, in terms of the past was, did you have any inspirations both inside and outside of the community? I think obviously fantasy as like a fictional genre is obviously a clear one when you look at your videos.
Yeah.
But yeah, what other inspirations did you have, if any?
There's quite a few actually. Yeah, one of them would be I would watch other creators and I guess just be so grateful for their videos, and I kind of think, oh, like please don't stop doing your videos because it's like really helpful. And there's always there's always a demand for ASMR, I feel like, and I'm always so grateful when like a lot of the bigger and smaller channels are consistent in posting, because it's such a hard thing to be consistent at sometimes. Because as a human being, you have days where you think, I really just want to look like trash today and just don't want to do anything and just exist peacefully, but then in the back of your mind you're kind of like, no, I really want to do this, I really want to make the videos and help people if you can. But for me, it's seeing them do it consistently was really inspirational. And even just things like technical faults, I've had so many. In fact, every video I think something has happened, and I've just thought like, oh, we knew something would happen, Elizabeth, and now we're just gonna have to deal with it. So getting over those hurdles, I think, and like I say, these creators, they're human beings. They'll have days when, like the big creators like GB and Glow, there's lovely people, and I'm sure they have days where they just want to chill and just
really shut off,
and just and they don't, and they keep going and they keep posting, and it's really quite honorable, really. So that's always an inspiration for me to keep posting, and also just how nice the community is, and wanting to be a part of that and give people the videos if they want them, but and then just watching videos where it would really help anxiety and things, and I feel like I'm in a place where I could provide that back if people wanted it. So so a lot of inspirations, really.
Was there any ASMR creators that maybe do a similar thing to you now that you took inspiration from, to say, maybe not to, obviously not to copy them, but to say, okay, they're doing this thing, like I could also do something similar but put my own like little spin on it? Was there anyone in particular there?
I'll be really honest, though, actually, when I first started out, no, because I had a really small, like, I had my subscription list was so small. So it had channels like Morpheus, ASMR, gosh, who else? God, it's hard to think on the spot.
Yeah.
But he's one of my favorites, and he's just this sweet man, and he's just like eating and just talking, and it's so like heartwarming and just really just comforting. I think that's one of the huge things for me, is it's comforting just to watch someone just chilling, really. But I have to say, not many that I watched did the role play videos as such. That they were more the classic ASMR, or like they might read something, or talk about their life, like story time. That's really interesting. But then when I started doing it, I would come across other channels that did it, and I was like, oh, this is fantastic. Because I had no idea what direction my channel was going to begin with.
Yeah.
I really had no idea. Like, I've obviously got an arsenal of costumes. But it was actually my friend James Matthew ASMR.
Yep.
He actually said, he was one of the first people to follow me, actually, bless him. He actually said you should do more with the role play stuff, with the costumes and things. And I wanted to, but I was thinking, do I dress in costume and do the classic ASMR? Do I do the full role play where I'm the person? Or do I just show the costumes as me? There's like loads of different things you can do with it. And I was really all over the place in the beginning, and I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll just dress as Harley Quinn and like tap on some stuff.
You can't go wrong with Harley Quinn.
And then, yeah.
Get your
And then
baseball
it
bat out
turned
and that's it.
into, and then, and then I actually just asked people what they wanted, and they said role play. So 15 videos later, here we are.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. You caught me on a day where I'm actually not a character, because I normally would be, but.
Yeah. Like, see, I personally don't watch a lot of role play stuff. And I know, like the sub community of role play ASMR is like massive. And again, you can split it further. Like, a lot of people do like things like doctor role players. And things of that nature.
Course,
and then obviously you're the more fantasy side. But like, if I think of fantasy role players, it's like you and probably someone like Amy Kay. I don't know if you've watched any of her videos before.
I think I may have heard the name, but I need to swat up on my role play ASMR artists, really.
Yeah, she's really good, and I'm sure there's more. But like I say, I'm not heavily invested in that side of the community. So if you are watching and you are invested in that side, please let me know in the comments who else we should watch.
Yeah, please let me know too. Yeah. I want more.
Okay, so I guess move on to the present a little bit now. So I was like, I can't remember like how I came across you, whether it was like a recommended video, or it must have been on YouTube, right? And I checked the channel out, and I think you had like maybe like 1 or 2 videos up at the time.
Yeah.
And I think you had like around 1,000 subs. And I remember, like, I'm not even gassing you here. Like, I remember watching it, and I was like, "There's no way." I was like, I kept like looking at the sub count. I was like, 1,000 subs. Like, there's no way. And I was like, "This is really good." And then anyway, like I think a couple of days later, it was like a short period of time. But you uploaded like a third video, or like whatever the next video was. And then it just like everything. I remember it blew up. Like, I remember seeing the video doing super well, and then every day on Instagram you'd post like a story going, "Oh, thanks so much for 2,000." Like, next day, "Thanks so much for 3,000." And it was like, no, it wasn't a bad. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but it was like, I was like, oh my god, like it was like every day. It was like going.
Oh, I know. I thought it would stop, and then I was like, should I? If I don't say thank you, is that really ungrateful? So then there's the kind of, do I say thank you, or do I not? Like, I don't want to look like, oh, look at me, oh yay, but at the same time, I don't want to come across ungrateful. So you kind of walk a fine line with that, don't you? Because you don't want to be like a big head, but you don't want to seem ungrateful too. So it's kind of like, at this point, I'm just let people know, every now and again, like, thank you, like, so thank you so much, because it's really, I'm really grateful. But yeah, I really thought, yeah, you just have no idea really that what's going to happen. I mean, I'm just grateful for the people that are following me already because they're super nice, and that's all you can ask for really. It's just that if people enjoy it, it's there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then if they don't, like, they don't have to watch it.
Yeah. No.
just bin it.
It was just it's like that point there was just like it was just like the growth was so fast, and I was like, okay, like this is what like and I was like, this makes sense in my head, but I was like, it was just like really fast, and then you done a couple of more videos, and the one that stands out was the Tomb Raider one, which currently has
Yeah.
120,000 views, which is like it's mental.
I actually didn't know that. I knew it got a bit more
Yeah,
than I first checked it, but
yeah. Like when
yeah.
I say that, like, is it mental to you that like so many people have watched that like one specific video, like
Yeah, it really doesn't
120,000?
sink in. Like
Like,
I put a post up saying thanks you for 100K.
mhm.
Okay, this is another thing. Maths is not my strong point.
Okay, well, it's
So when
mine,
I
so I can help
see
you.
those numbers, I'm like, I don't even know like 10 people.
Yeah,
So
like,
to actually see that number, I'm like, it can't be really. It's probably just like an error or something. But then over time, I was like, oh, I literally don't even know 10 people. That's crazy. Like, it's in that one video. I look at it sometimes and think, why? Like, why is that so? Why? It's just like me dressed up, and I guess because I've done it for so long, I'm desensitized to myself. But then I suppose other people probably are like, oh, Tomb Raider, that's interesting, or I don't really know why people click on it, but
I
I'm so grateful all the same.
yeah,
But
I think
it is quite crazy because I live in a little bubble. Like I'm
mm,
sure a lot of us probably do live
yeah.
in a little bubble. So to have that happen was really quite something. And yeah, it's you never really. I don't think it ever really sinks in. You can only just be grateful at this point, I think.
Yeah, I think with that video, it was like if I'm imagining someone watching that and experiencing you for the first time, it was kind of like it's a unique thing, right? Like you don't see Tomb Raider roleplay ASMR videos,
Oh,
and then at the same time, it was you just like executing it like perfectly, like
oh, thank you. Do you
and
know what? I almost binned that video. I'm not even. Do you know what's terrifying? I almost didn't do it. I was this close to being like, "That is naff." Like, I don't really like it because when you're doing something for so long, you you kind of don't see it through like rose tinted glasses anymore. You kind of see it. You criticize yourself, don't you? You like really criticize the technique and your voice and everything.
mhm.
But actually, if you are listening to it for the first time, you don't see that. You obviously don't see those things, do you? But to me, I was like, I watched it over and over, and I was like, do I want to bin this? And I was like, no, I need to get a video out, and it's Tomb Raider, and I said I'd do it, and
Yeah.
I'll put it out, and thank God I didn't bin it. That was me being mega critical, and I was like, this is naff. And I was like, oh, I don't know, I just put it out. I hope people like it. But I did a lot of, because I played a lot of the Tomb Raider games. I
Mhm.
don't know if, I know there's some nerds out there like me that would know that that particular role play I did, I reference stories that are in the game. So I actually read from the stories that are in the game. So like if you're watching it and you're not a fan, there's like a bit of story in there. But if you are, like I try and weave in some actual lore of things,
Yeah.
and a lot of people pick up on that, and I'm so amazed, and people are so awesome because I pick up the little nerdiness bits in there, little Easter egg things that I put in there, and it's like, oh, it's so cool that people notice that, and they're big nerds like me.
Yeah, you just get like this burst of happiness that like someone's appreciated the fact that you've put like this like really small detail in.
Yeah, like
Like
I put really small, and then they'll mention it, and I'm like, oh, you're so good.
yeah,
Makes me so
I guess
happy.
that's really fulfilling, right?
Yeah, I think it's moments like that where I really do get happy, and I'm like, oh, people are so cool. Like they really picked up on that.
Yeah. And like
Mm.
I think going back to like 120,000 people, like if you imagine Wembley Stadium is like 90,000 people. So it's like Wembley Stadium, like, and then you put it like cut it into a third, and then you've got that on top of it.
That's so scary. Imagine like you, right, being in that stadium and like all those people are like watching you. You're like with the mic like this. It's you, just the stage, you, and the mic like.
No. It's crazy to think about when you start to like contextualize the numbers.
Yeah, it really is. It's kind of funny, but like a giddy kind of funny, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna ask like why do you think it's your most popular video? But like I guess you've kind of just said like you didn't think it was gonna be good. So
Yeah,
yeah.
seriously, I didn't. Yeah, I think looking at it now with hindsight, yeah, at the time I thought it was trash, but now I kind of think it's because it's Tomb Raider. Like you said, there probably wasn't a lot of Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
But I don't know because I don't check. This is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I did Witcher thinking this is so like people are probably not going to click this because like who's done a Witcher whispering video? Like that's so niche.
I think that was the genius thing
but
about
I think,
it.
Oh, thank
Like,
you.
I mean, I've never played a Tomb Raider game, right? But everyone knows who Lara Croft is, and like
That's the thing.
I think that is why it done so well because like no one's done it, but like everyone knows
but
who it is.
People know it. Yeah. See, I thought with The Witcher, nobody would really know it. So I thought, I'll just do this because I like it. I just do it because I like it.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can tell that.
Yeah, thank you. And yeah, people watched it and they were like, "Oh, The Witcher, that's cool." And I was like, "Oh yeah, really." I think though the Netflix series made it more popular because I played the games.
Yeah.
Even the old ones, like I dabbled with the second one, I think. And I've watched gameplays of like the first one. They were so old. So that's sort of where that's where it came from. But then obviously when the Netflix series came out, I then posted my video, not directly afterwards, but it was after. But I was going off the game, not the series, and the costumes from the game.
Yeah.
And I also drew lore from the books as well because I have the book somewhere. But I think that maybe thanks to the Netflix series, why it may have done better because I guess you think about current events and what's popular as well. Like if you're doing role play, for example.
Yeah.
Like doing cosplay, I never really care about what's popular. I just kind of do what I want to do at the time. But actually, I seem to have done it at the right time with the Tomb Raider one and the Witcher one.
I love that. Yeah, like
I think stumbled upon good timing.
Yeah, like I think if you watch, if you look at like a lot of the big creators in any YouTube space, like not just ASMR, they're smart about what they put out and making sure it's relevant. Like I know,
for sure. Been more mindful of that recently.
The game Among Us came out, right?
Oh yeah,
and it blew up, and you could see with a lot of the big creators. Like I remember Darling done a video, and it was an Among Us ASMR, and it's like latching on to them current trends, right?
Oh yeah, because Matty Tingles did one, and he's a creator that I watch quite a lot. And he, because he actually does sort of similar to me. Like he'll do Minecraft and he'll do like game store roleplay, and he did like a Moana one, which was amazing. And I think he even did Russell from Up. Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah. And I love those kind of videos. I definitely watch them more now than I used to. But yeah, and he would do sort of what's sort of trending at the time, and he'd weave in like he does a series of shoe videos, like he's got new shoes, and he'll weave them in between like the current trending topics, if that makes sense.
I like that, yeah.
So he'll do videos that he likes, but then he'll do videos that are like current, which is great. And I love seeing anything really like that. I'm quite easy to please with ASMR. So, but yeah, there's a lot where people will do trending topics like cyberpunk, for example.
That was
yeah, people are still asking me for that, and the game's already come and gone now. And I will do one, but it takes a while. That's the problem with role plays. It takes a while to build the set and do the script and everything. So
I can't imagine.
It's just getting it all together and the money too. like buying neon signs and things.
But I mean, I think that's why you have done so well, because it's like the passion is there for it, right? It's like you're not just recording it because it's like currently relevant, right? It's like,
Yeah,
I
I
think,
really do find it
yeah,
fun,
it's
the
like
sets and everything.
the passion's there, and then all the hard work, like, yeah, your sets, and then like getting together all the facts and the law,
Oh,
sitting
thank
down to
you.
film it, and then editing it, obviously.
Yeah, it takes a good few days.
Yeah,
Like,
I can imagine.
I know some people are so speedy. I'm like, you are a wizard. I don't know how you did it that quick. For me, it could take a day to actually write the thing. And I won't always go off the script either. I'll spend a day writing it,
Hmm.
and then I'll ignore it and just be like, no, that's trash. I don't want to say that anymore.
Yeah.
And I'll just like wing it. But then, and then, yeah, take a day to build the set. I don't always film on the day I build the set because it really does take a while to get everything together. And then I'll go into it fresh and film it the next day, and then I'll edit on another day. So it's like a 3 or 4 day thing for a role play usually. But that's just me being slow. So
no,
doesn't necessarily mean it's good. It's just I'm slow.
no, I've seen other creators like break down like how much time things take, and it is like,
Yes,
especially for role plays. I'm nowhere near your level, and I've done a couple of role plays, right? And it's just
I love them.
it's just me and my normal like setup, and then
No, but I love it.
kind of like a couple of props and stuff. And I
Yeah, your Fantastic Beasts one. I love that.
I
That was
just
so good. And you did one from Naruto, didn't you?
yeah, I just improvised it all in my head, which
Yeah,
uh
it's really good. That's
prob-
a really hard skill though as
prob-
well.
yeah,
Seriously.
I think playing like role playing games like Dungeons and Dragons helped that a lot.
Yeah.
Which was something when I first started playing that was like I couldn't do it, and it's just you just grow into it, right?
Yeah, you get used to like thinking on your feet. My problem is I can improvise, but it will be just babbling and messy, and I'll probably end up going off topic. So I have to really anchor my brain. So I do write a script,
Yeah,
not necessarily that I'll read word for word,
yeah,
but it's to just structure my mind and to keep me on task.
yeah,
Because otherwise I'll end up talking about something completely unrelated to the role play. And they'll be like, what's Lara got to do with Boris Johnson? Or like, when did she even meet him? She never met him in the games. Like, it'll just be something really random. So yeah, that's sort of what I do. But I'm trying to get better at improv, really. But it's really good if you can do it. And I know Love Sophia ASMR, she does it fantastically well. And there are many others that can just do it. And I think it's scripted sometimes, but it's not. And
yeah,
it's fantastic.
yeah.
Really good.
I think
Yeah.
I think in general, like the space has so many good actors. It's like
Oh, for sure. Like, I was always that kid that was scared to death of drama. Like, I'm quite a dramatic person normally. But if I'm actually in a situation where I have to do it, I'm like, no, like pick someone else. But and I've never been like an actor or anything. I've never wanted to sort of do it. And that's why going into ASMR, I've ended up doing a lot more that I thought I would never do.
yeah,
Like, I went into it thinking, I'll just really love the simple videos where the tapping and talking. I love it. Absolutely. So I thought I was sort of going to do that really. But then obviously with all my costumes, people are like, we want to role play. And I'm like, oh, I've got to act and everything. Like, okay, like I'm not the best at accents. So luckily every character I've done so far has been British. Apart from Catwoman, I think. But people didn't mind that, so that was okay.
yeah.
I think I'll have to start doing
I think
accents
British
soon.
Catwoman kind of works.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I like being sassy British Catwoman.
Yeah. Yeah. So, since the Tomb Raider video, you're pretty much averaging like I didn't run like proper calculations, but around like 40,000 views on average per video. Your Sith Star Wars video that you've done that has over 100,000 views now as well.
Oh yeah. Oh, do you know what? I think other people check more than I do, which is really sweet. Because when people tell me, I'm like, did it? I guess I get nervous to check because I don't want to get to a point where I'm constantly looking at it. Sorry, I just I just want to say that.
No, it's fine.
But
But yeah, like I think I think if I think about you, it is
Mm.
probably like when I'm like thinking about specifics, it's like Star Wars does. It's like Star Wars and Witcher, right? Like I think they're the ones that you've done the most, I would say.
Yeah, and to be honest, they're the ones that people have asked for. Like I think I guess I don't want to just be restricted to one topic.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of bringing the popular things back because I also like doing them.
Yeah.
So like I think I've done 2 Tomb Raider ones now. I've done 2 Witcher ones, I think, and 3 Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I've also done like Fallout and Catwoman, and so I do try and
Being
vary it.
diverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you've got to do.
But I do just really like Star Wars.
Yeah, that's it.
But so do other people, I think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I want to talk about next. Like, let's talk Star Wars for a second. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll start like, how old were you when you first like watched Star Wars? Can you remember that?
Wow. I guess so young that I probably can't remember, because I
Yeah.
do remember my first lightsaber though. So me and my brother, we were just we were fanatics about Star Wars. We used to play Lego Star Wars. We would wear our dressing gowns in the garden with these like plastic. You push the button and you flick it
I know
out,
what you mean.
and that's the lightsaber. Yeah. And we had Mace Windu's, we had Obi-Wan Kenobi's. I think we had Luke Skywalker's green one too. We wanted one of every color at the time, and we would just like whack each other with them, and you get bruises and stuff. And you know, we would like try and recite the odd line, you know. But it was lovely and I loved it. Yeah, in our mind, we were like on Tatooine, we were on Dagobah, we were doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And I guess I am that adult that still likes that sort of thing.
That's me as well with D&D.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And it's so great because it's such an innocent thing, though. There's a lot of evil in the world. There's a lot of bad in the world. I think liking Star Wars, I think we can get away with that, can't we, really?
There's worse things that you could be doing.
Absolutely. But as well, I think being older, now I sort of make videos. I'm now looking at it like, oh, the special effects on that are amazing. Oh, the cinematography. Like I'm looking at it with grown-up eyes, but still loving it as much as I did when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I appreciate the cinematic value of it more as an adult. And it just makes it even that much more impressive because you know the work that goes into it to an extent. I mean, I'm not Peter Jackson or anyone. You know, I'm not George Lucas. But these movies, these franchises, like I sort of know a little bit more about what goes into it and the prosthetics and things. Like I don't do that heavy special effects, but I am aware of how to do it, and I do know how to do like the latex castings and things. So to actually watch them now as an adult, I think that's even cooler because of how much work goes in.
So many
and it's
people.
achievable. Yeah, when you're a kid, you think, oh, that's impossible. I'll never be like Obi-Wan Kenobi or something. But you can, because he's an actor. So like if he can do it, why not you do it, you know?
For sure.
But yeah, that's what I love about it. So yeah, I was very young. Don't really remember the age, but I'm 23 and I still love it.
So now we're gonna get. Oh, by the way, guys, if you don't follow Lizzie on Instagram and you like Star Wars, make sure you do, because she posts dank Star Wars memes all the time. Just saying.
Thank you.
Just throwing that one
Try and
out.
do it daily.
Live for it. But okay, so the next thing I wanted you to do is I want you to rank all of the main Star Wars films from we'll go best to worst. So
best to worst.
Just the main ones, not like Rogue One and stuff like that.
Oh, because I was gonna bring that one up. For me, oh my god, please don't come for me. The best, Attack of the Clones. I really do like that one. Yeah. Okay. Come at me. Attack of the Clones is my favorite film of the Star Wars franchise.
See,
the whole Star Wars franchise.
As a kid, I loved that one as well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Attack of the Clones is, because Sorry, I know I'm supposed to rank,
No,
but
it's
I'll
fine.
go
Let's
on a
talk about
little
Attack of the
rant.
Clones.
Attack of the Clones is kind of like the rogue, you know, like it's like the rogue one of the three. It's like it's like the jokey, funny one, the quirky film of the three. Do you know what I mean? I don't mean Rogue One like the film Rogue One. I mean Rogue like
The Rogue One.
It's
The
just
Rogue,
different. Yeah,
one.
the Rogue.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, and they kind of have a little bit of fun with that one, and I really like it. And also, there's a lot of action in there.
Yeah, like,
and as you see the conflict with Anakin as well, you see the conflict, and there's some like really some really dark bits in it, but it's really great. And I always remember the scene when Obi-Wan is with Anakin and they are chasing after the bounty hunter in that ship,
at
and
the
it's
start of the
just
film.
the back and forth. Is it the start of the film? I think it's start to middle. Yeah, they're chasing because you know the bounty hunter.
There's a bit at the start where they're in like the city, right?
Yeah.
Is it that part? And it's at night.
Yes, it's at night. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and they're chasing after the bounty hunter.
Yeah.
And because the bounty hunter leaves those snake things in Padme's room.
Yes.
And there's just a back and forth between them two. It's kind of like they're like children, but it's funny. And it's, yeah, I guess it's just the childishness of it. It's quite funny. And Anakin annoys the hell out of me. Like, he really annoys me, but I love it.
Yeah.
It's like, I love watching it. And yeah, I think the most fun, and the different places they go to as well. Like, quite a well-traveled film of the three. Oh my gosh, every time Padme wears an outfit, I'm like, yes, like, what outfit you wearing? Like, because she comes up with some amazing outfits, and I just think, God, no one's batting an eyelid. Like, Padme's got a bird on her head today. It's great. It's wonderful. We love it. You know.
Natalie Portman fan club.
I know. I love your outfits. I do want to do Queen Amidala. I will do it one day.
We need that.
Yeah, I need that big ass headdress with the hair.
Oh my God. That one's hitting a milli.
Yeah. But yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And then I would say, sorry, the prequels are coming first. The Phantom Menace, I would say next, just because it's a really homely vibe for me. It's like, are you agreeing or no?
Well, see, the thing is with Star Wars, right? I don't dislike any of them, right? Like, all of them have a place in my heart.
Yeah.
But it's you put
the worst one second. Wait.
I'll let you do your list, and then
yeah, I'll explain why though. It's for nostalgia purposes. It's not for it's not for TV value or like movie value.
Yeah.
If you're thinking it as an actual film, no, it's not the best, and it's certainly not second worthy. But to me, it's so nostalgic.
I get that.
And little Annie is so annoying, but it's like, oh, you little, you know, it's like it's really endearing. You know, the annoyingness of him. So that's second, nostalgic purposes only. But if it was to be a film.
Oh, you've started this list.
Like, if it was to be on, I know. God, I'm so sorry. I'm such a complicated person. If it was to be based on film value, I would say Revenge of the Sith or Empire Strikes Back. But Revenge of the Sith, just because I like the prequel so much.
Revenge of the
then
Sith.
It would be Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith's my favorite out of the prequels.
Yeah.
But having said that, my favorite scene in the entire franchise is from The Phantom Menace, and it is the Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan fight against Darth Maul. Like, that will forever be my favorite scene.
And that's why it's second. And that's why it's second for me, because that alone smashes
That's such a good scene.
Like, yeah, oh my God, it's so good.
I'll
actually there is a YouTube video, right? And I posted this on my story. I posted me laughing to it because I literally just died. Somebody has photoshopped the lightsabers massive.
Oh no.
In that scene, they are massive. And when Darth Maul gets his double saber out, it's massive. And I lose it every time. I'll post it on my Instagram again because I just love it so much. And they're stood there and they're facing him off, and they ignite the sabers, and they're massive. And I'm like, Oh, it just messes me up every time. It messes me up so bad. So yeah, that scene alone, and when like Obi-Wan's like hanging in the giant cylinder pit thing, and then he like pulls himself up and just like kebabs Darth Maul. It's like such a good scene.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there hasn't been
and then it'll be
stop that.
and then it'll be Revenge of the Sith, just because
you went all
like
three
it's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. That alone just lives in my mind rent free.
Yeah. Oh wow, I didn't expect you to put all the prequels.
Yeah, really do like the prequels. Were we including Mandalorian? Because that's so many episodes.
No, just like just the films.
Star Wars.
And the like episode 1 to 9.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it would be
you got Empire Strikes Back at 4.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then
everything else
it's a tough one, because they can just take 5th. They can both just take 5th, because they're both great. And you know what? I absolutely love Han Solo. And I do love the original trilogy. But I just do like the prequels more, but I think it's because when I was a kid, I grew up with that first.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Like Obi-Wan Kenobi is my religion. I just love it so much. Yeah. No, I do love.
I do.
Yeah, like, and I love as well that because Luke and Han, they work so well. Like it's like a brotherly kind of thing. But Luke's so innocent, isn't he? Yeah, he's like powerful AF, but he's kind of like really endearingly, like he's really sweet, and you know, he doesn't wane to the dark side. He's actually really strong in that way, because it's very tempting. And then Han Solo is just great, and I really hate that Disney killed him off. So thanks Disney for breaking my entire soul. Yeah. Sorry, spoiler.
So are we putting all the sequels in last place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
But I love them though. I still love them.
Yeah,
you know, I did grow up with them too. But yeah, the prequels came first for me, really.
Yeah. I think if I was going to list them, I would probably put. I'm a sucker for Return of the Jedi, because I like. See, normally people say Empire Strikes Back is the best one, but like, bad things happen in it, and I like the good people winning. So like.
Oh yeah, true. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
So like I put that. Yeah, I would say Return of the Jedi is 1. Empire Strikes Back. Empire Strikes Back is 2.
Yeah.
Then I would probably put. I'd probably put Revenge of the Sith at 3.
Nice.
And then this is my controversial take. I would probably put episode 9 at 4. I liked. Yeah, I liked episode 9 the most out of the sequels.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I would do that, and then I would probably go A New Hope at 5. Phantom.
I do like A New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd probably put Phantom Menace at 6. Then Attack of the Clones 7. Force Awakens 8. And then,
we're doing Disney. Yeah.
And then what you call it? What's the one I'm missing? Is it The Last Jedi?
Oh yeah, The Last Jedi, and then Return of, what is it? Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker's the last one. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
So they're in the order.
I love Adam Driver as an actor. Like Kylo Ren's character I think he got memed on really bad after the first film, and then he just like really grew on me.
And now he's loved. Everybody loves him. It's like he's like that broody dude that's like mega emo kid that everyone can relate to.
Yeah, but I think his character's like so complex, and he played him so well.
Yeah, the Sith are, because you know they're like really emotional and everything. I think to me that's why the Sith are probably more relatable to people, and that's probably why people go to the Sith side, because you know, I mean, going back to like Anakin's story. So we're really going into it. This is now a Star Wars podcast.
You just love Hayden Christensen. That's what it is. Confirmed.
I love him. Anakin is like a whiny little bee, and I would love to throat punch him. But having said that, I totally get his confliction, because so like the Sith aren't allowed the Jedi aren't allowed feelings, right? But Anakin, he like saw his mum after she was tortured and then died in his arms.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're not going to be pissed about that? Like, how are you not going to be angry or upset about that? And then he was scared because he had a vision that Padme would die in childbirth, so that freaked him out. Like, how do you internalize that, you know? Like, I don't... So I totally get why I went on a rampage and turned into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
You're an Anakin sympathizer, I see.
Yeah, he's annoying.
No, it makes sense.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking
He played
forward
it great.
I'm looking forward to what to do with the Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is it a series or a film? I think
It's a series.
It's a series.
I think there's 6 episodes, but they're all an hour long.
And they're bringing Hayden Christensen back, so
They are.
I hope they're doing well this time.
I do as well.
I think everything they've done with Mandalorian has just turned to gold. Like the second season of the third is the third season of Mandalorian.
And there's 2. They're working on the 3rd one.
Yeah, that's what it is. Like the second season was just blew my socks off. Like,
I know, baby Grogu. Oh my god. Everyone's like, ew, his name's ugly, and I'm like, I love baby Grogu.
Like,
I'm literally like,
Mandalorian spoilers, but that scene where Luke comes in was I was fangirling so hard. It was
oh my god. When you see the hill, you're like, oh, and then you're just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
And then he takes the hood off. Oh, he went ham on them. Like, he really did. That was a lot of action, wasn't it?
He went like 100. Like it looked like he was going like full try hard.
Oh yeah, yeah. He swept up. He swept that hole so good. Yeah, it was brilliant. Oh, and when Grogu touches Din's face, I'm like, like I cried so hard. I'm not ashamed to say I cried.
Yeah.
Real tears.
No, I think I did as well.
I cry more when happy things happen, but that was sad. Yeah.
The one thing I was hype about was what do you call the actor's name again? Sorry, I'm having
Pedro Pascal.
Yes, he's playing Joel in the live action adaptation of Last of Us, and I
know.
Like, just seeing how good he was in The Mandalorian, and like now he's doing that. That was like, that was like such a relief for me when I heard he was doing that, because at first it's like Last of Us is like the biggest thing for me. Like,
oh yeah,
is like the second game.
I still need to play the second.
The second one was so life changing. I've never thought of a game like as much after playing it, and like even now, like I still think about moments in the game like every day. Like it's such an it's just a masterpiece of a game. But like, okay, like when that happens, it's like your baby, right? And then like when you hear like someone's gonna make an adaptation of it, you're like, don't ruin my baby.
Don't soil it.
But you know, Adam Druckmann, who is the I think he's the producer for the game, but he's basically like the main guy behind the games. It was his story and everything. He's heavily involved with this creation of the series. And they've got Pedro Pascal and the girl from Game of Thrones. So I'm hoping they do a good job with it.
Oh yeah, Pedro Pascal is slaying it, because he was in Game of Thrones as Oberyn, wasn't he?
So they do know.
He was also in the Kingsman, which I love. That the second one, the Golden Circle. Did you watch that?
No, I know what it is, but I've never actually seen it. But it's got good reviews.
Oh, it's fantastic. He's really good in that. He's obviously in Narcos as well. Like, he's in a lot. The dude is busy. Like, he's really good. He's one of those actors where, like, when you actually look and search what he's actually in, you think, oh my god, he's actually in like everything. He's touched every genre franchise that I love.
He's been grinding.
Yeah, and now Star Wars, and now he's in Star Wars. Yeah, it's really cool. Star Wars
and The Last of Us.
Yeah, so great. He's so versatile. Just it's testament to him, really, isn't it?
Yeah. But I'd love to talk. I think we'd talk about Star Wars for like another hour, but
yeah,
we'll try not to do that.
We'll spare people.
So yeah, the last thing I wanted to talk about in terms of like present day stuff is obviously, like I said, you've been making videos for just over 4 months. You've got 20,000 subs, 15 videos. Knowing what you know now, what tips would you give to someone else who was starting their own channel?
Oh wow. I don't feel worthy to give. I feel like I'm still new, but if I was, I would say, well, a big one, I guess, would be don't worry too much about like how you look and things, because I did. I worry about how I sounded. I worried about, it's a very, you get so in your own head about how you come across. I would say don't worry so much about that, because people are very accepting, people are very lovely, and the community isn't as harsh as some. And as I say, in my first video, I didn't speak, or, well, I didn't show most of my face.
Yeah.
And that was because of, shyness, I suppose. And people could not have been nicer when I did. And I guess it's your identity, isn't it? How you sound and how you look. So you're putting quite a lot of yourself out there. But just enjoy it. That's why we do it at the end of the day, and to, help people hopefully as well. But, just focus on enjoying it and don't worry about anything else. And if you enjoy it and you like it, then that should be enough.
Yeah. And I think just adding on to what you said about appearance and stuff like that. I mean, I know a lot of channels that only do like a half face video, and
Yeah, I
if
follow a few.
if you are someone that is maybe self conscious or lacks that confidence, then that is something that you can do, and I wouldn't
Mm.
get it in your head that it's going to affect videos, because it doesn't.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and
Yeah, people
and
are really accepting.
yeah, that is an avenue you could take when you're making your own videos. So
Hmm.
for sure.
Yeah, that's such a great point, because I actually do follow a couple where they don't, but I never really think about it,
Mm,
because you sort of, because you're there for the ASMR, aren't you?
yeah.
You're not there to be judgmental. I mean, you'd hope not, but no,
No.
nobody really is, because we're all there just to try and relax, aren't we? You're offering something that's nice, hopefully.
Mm,
You want to help people, so it's not a place where you're judged. And if you are, they don't belong there. And, it's just maybe like, yeah, but there really isn't. Like, a lot of the time, people are really lovely. And like you said, if you don't want to, that's absolutely fine. And you don't have to do that
yeah.
either.
And it
Just do what makes you comfortable to a point where you enjoy it.
yeah, exactly. And even if it's just for for privacy reasons, like you might not want to put your face on the internet for that. So
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
yeah,
Because
but
people I work with know I do this. And, well, actually, I sent a video because I did a detective one that was on Jack the Ripper, and I work at museums,
museum.
so
Hmm.
it's yeah, so it's quite, I don't mind people knowing that, but it's quite relevant, and I put it in the museum page, and it was so nerve-wracking, more than putting it online to strangers, more nerve-wracking showing people I actually know.
I know what
But
you
they were
mean.
so lovely, and so supportive, and I guess I was just kind of like, I wanted to test the demographic and see what different people thought of ASMR. So surprising how many people know about it as well.
Hmm.
Like, I've had people come up to me, like in my town, they say, "Oh, like, I know ASMR," and I'm like, "Oh, you actually watch that? That's so cool! Like, you even know what it is." So it's more widely used than I thought it was.
Yeah. No, that's good that you've had a positive reaction to it. I think where I live, it's like a bit out in the boonies,
Mhm.
and yeah, not many local people probably know what it is. So I've
Oh,
I've
yeah.
I've kept it on a personal level, in
Yeah.
that sense. But unfortunately, I did have uh, a bad interaction with someone local who decided to,
Oh,
yeah, throw some bad words my way. That's what we'll say about it.
oh no, I'm
And
so
no,
sorry.
it's fine. It's like, and it was good because even at the time, it like really upset me. Um, it was kind of like a reminder to myself that like none of that, like the outside noise doesn't matter as long as you're
Yeah.
happy with the content you're creating, and like just remind yourself of the good things, like you're helping people in the process, you're helping
Yeah.
someone have a good night, you're helping calm somebody down, like them things
Yeah,
matter more
massively.
than somebody else judging you, because
Yeah.
maybe they're jealous, maybe they envy you, or they've just got nothing better to do. But if you are someone that um is starting out or thinking about starting out, then I wouldn't worry about that noise. Just you do you, and
Yeah.
the passion that
And
you
you
have for
know,
it will carry you.
it's absolutely, because it's not even just ASMR, but people aren't always going to like what you do. Like,
Mm.
it could be anything. It
Yeah.
might not even be ASMR. People might not like how you dress. People might not like what, your hobbies and things.
Yeah, for sure.
But you just have to ignore it and crack on, because it's the people that like what you do and that do it themselves that are worth paying attention to and worth, giving your time to and actually talking to them,
Yeah.
because they feed positivity into what you enjoy. And like, surrounding yourself with people that support you is the best thing you can do, and just don't pay any mind to people that don't, because they are just wasting their time, really, because we don't care. If you don't like what we do, we don't care. There's people that do like it, so it's
Yeah.
as easy as that, really. You're wasting your time saying mean things, because the community is so strong and so supportive. Like, it's just white noise, really.
And
But however,
it really is, like, the community is so supportive, like we've touched on. And I think, me personally, I have a personal Instagram and an ASMR Instagram, and now I'm completely on my ASMR one all the time, because I feel more comfortable to be myself on that Instagram page, because I'm in a community that's really supportive, and I can, like,
yeah,
express myself more. And, like, the other account, I feel like I'm shackled, or I'm, like, holding things back behind a veil. Um,
yeah.
so
Yeah, I know what you
yeah.
mean. When I first started my cosplay, I was very reserved and very quiet, and the photos I posted, it was all me dressed as somebody else. And for years, I was happy just being behind the character, And it took a lot of courage, I suppose, to start posting even just videos and story. And people would say, "Oh, I've never heard you talk. I didn't know you were British," or
Hmm.
they're like, "Oh, you actually have a voice." But it's I just wasn't comfortable for years. I just wasn't comfortable. Um, and then I finally just grew into it, and now I actually do ASMR, which is two of the things I never thought I'd do, is talk and then actually talk on video. So it's like there sort of forever, I suppose. Well, unless I delete it, which I won't, but it's
Hmm.
there in the world, and it's quite surprising how it can be perceived. But I know that not everybody has a positive experience, which is such a shame.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of positivity that you can get from it. Like, even when I started cosplay, people were really horrible, actually. This is just cosplay, and I wasn't very good at it. I didn't know how to sew, so I would staple things to my clothes until I taught myself how to sew, and it looks a bit of a mess, really. And I've deleted those now, but there was a lot of photos on my Instagram from years ago.
Yeah.
I've been on it longer than it says I have, because I deleted old photos, um, but I was just trying it out, and people were so cutthroat, and they thought it was stupid. But now, actually, having stuck at it for years and sort of honed my skills of making things and whatnot, those same people like messaged me a while ago. They're like, "Oh, it's really cool what you do," and I kind of
Hmm.
think, "Oh, is it cool now because I'm better at it,
Yeah.
or do you just think the whole thing's cool?" Because we all start somewhere, don't we? And but yeah, I've not always had a positive experience with that, but it's having the courage to still do what you enjoy and what makes you happy.
Yeah.
And if you want to put it out there, that's entirely up to you. But as long as you enjoy doing it, that's what matters the most.
Well said, for sure. Okay, so the last part of the podcast, um, just talk about, like, future things coming up for you. So, do you have any, um, like, future projects in the works? Like, do you make a list of all the, like, the future videos that you want to do? Can you share any of those? Or
My problem is I'm always thinking of a million different things to do. So
Mhm.
actually pinning them down and doing them. But I do them. It's just when. I actually, so for future videos, I'm definitely wanting to do a cyberpunk one.
Yeah.
Um, the reason why I haven't done it yet is because I'm gathering things for the set, because I want it to be really immersive. That's what I like doing most, is the sets and things. So I've also got a Assassin's Creed roleplay to do. I've got a Daenerys one to do since I've bleached my roots. Also, I'm in a collaboration with 4 other wonderful women who do ASMR. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say what it is yet, but we're doing that, and that's wonderful. I'm so grateful to be part of that, because they're all lovely and they all have great channels. And I'll tag them in my story on Instagram. I'll do a group thing at some point. But yeah, so I'm excited about that. That's and good. Not ASMR, I am actually working on a Witcher sort of trailer. So it's not ASMR, it's more to do with like filming. So The Witcher 2 is coming out. And since The Witcher 1, I wanted to sort of expand on filming and sort of make more of a movie trailer. So it's not going to be that good, but I wanted to sort of do something like that.
Like a fan-made film type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And like practice more things like that. Thank you. So that's one project. And a good friend of mine is Anya. She's providing the piano background for it, so collaborating with her on that. So
is that ASMR, Anya?
That's nice. Yes, it is. Yeah,
we stan her.
Yeah, she's wonderful. I'm really grateful for that too. So that's exciting. But that's something that's sort of going on behind the scenes when I can sort of do it, because it's quite a long going project.
I like that.
And I have to like travel to take the shots and things. But yeah, I'm always working on something, I suppose.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, are you going to mainly stick to more of the, the fantasy genre type of stuff? Like most, I'm guessing you're going to do more Star Wars videos, right? Because like, I mean, Star Wars is just too good not to, right?
I know. Well, actually, I do plan on doing a Mandalorian one, which is I'm actually working on the armor right now.
Are you going to do the full? Wow, that'd be so good.
I'm doing the full armor, the helmet, and I've got this special. Oh, sorry, I'm really getting into it.
No,
I've got this special paint that makes it mirror chrome. It's amazing. It's this liquid that you pour on, and it actually reflects. So his Beskar armor is it's like mirrored. It's not even shiny. It's actually mirrored. That's sort of what it does. So I'm hoping it's not going to mess up. So I can actually replicate it as close as I can.
Well,
and I'm going to finally get a little Grogu. So that's coming. Mando is coming. Mando Liz.
Yeah, and is it just, do you mainly want to focus on, the role players, the cosplayers where, you're reading bits of lore and stuff like that, or do you want to do maybe more conventional ASMR, or is it kind of something that you're not thinking about but you won't rule out at the same time?
Yeah, I absolutely am open to anything. For me, I enjoy everything, so I ask people what they want to see most, and it is role plays, which I suppose shouldn't be a surprise at this point. It's lovely because I love doing it, but the video I actually just shot today is just me reading a wonderful book that a author called Jacob Sannox, he sent me some books, bless him, and so we sort of collabed, and I've read a bit of that, and that was so lovely to do because I love reading out loud, and I like watching story time ASMR. I like just watching somebody sit and just chat or something, so it's a bit more low key, but I really enjoyed it. And so I will throw in the sort of more classic ones now and again, or I might do it where I'm dressed up but
I want to
have the classic.
I want to say Lizzie Lestrange tapping and scratching on 10 random objects.
Oh yeah.
We need to say that.
Absolutely. If you want it, you can have it. Yeah, absolutely. And I'll make all the noises as well.
Custom video.
Yeah. I will do it. They're wonderful. I love them. I love watching all different types of ASMR, really. But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my go-to is normally like tapping and scratching. Like especially on the camera, like there's something about like actually tapping the camera is like really good.
I did a personal attention one. I really enjoyed it. I was a bit shy to do it because it was quite close, but I really enjoy it too, and I like watching them. So I'll definitely throw in some classic ones for sure, because I think they are really fun to make for me, especially because I'm normally dressed up in something, or I could do it in character, I suppose, and just
I think that would be a good way of doing it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last thing is, do you have, what are the ultimate goals of the channel? Do you have, targets that you want to hit? Is there like a quantifiable thing that you want to achieve, or is it just, take it day by day, do what you're passionate about, and just keep making content?
Yeah, to be honest, I never like to set goals with this sort of thing because I think that kind of can set you up for disappointment. So for me, I suppose every like new subscriber is amazing. Every new comment, I'm like, oh wow,
Yeah.
So I've never really had a goal to reach, like I set a number or like a benchmark. It's just if it happens, it happens, and it's lovely.
Yeah.
And I guess I just want to keep doing them and keep enjoying it as well. I try and do, I do at least one a week. It depends. It really depends how much effort the video is. So if it's a big role play, it might take longer and then I can't do another one in time. So just to try and be consistent and at least get one out a week.
Yeah.
Which I've managed to do fine. So, but yeah, in terms of like a goal, I would say that I would like to reach is that I can get better with the effects and things and with the sets and make them just even more immersive. Really, that's like a personal goal to just make them better. Really,
just always challenging yourself. It's super respectful.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you like if someone said like, okay, you can make ASMR for the rest of your life as a content creator, and obviously you'd be financially stable doing that. Would you say yes to that, or?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's an absolute privilege if you could get to that. I think it's like sort of the dream probably for most people, isn't it? I mean, you get to
express
live
yourself
doing what you enjoy.
Yeah.
And very much I'm very lucky to have my jobs outside of ASMR. I very much enjoy my jobs. But gosh, that would be amazing too. Do you know, I'd probably still volunteer though where I work because I really
you just suck.
because I know I'm such a sucker for it. But no, I would absolutely not turn that down. You'd be I think you'd be crazy to turn something like that down. But I don't it's not something that I'm hoping for because I'm just grateful for what the channel is at now. Because, I did cosplay for so many years and it never really went anywhere. But I was okay. I'm okay just posting and it's there for the people that still follow me sort of thing. But for YouTube to get this far is amazing and really grateful for that and really surprised, to be honest. Like occasionally if I check my channel to check the comments, I usually just check it to check the comments, and then someone might say like, "Oh, you're at so and so number now," and I'm like, "Oh gosh, have I reached that?" And it's usually I find out through other people.
I think that's because of how humble you are.
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I'm scared too, though. I'm like, "Oh, what if it's negative?"
No, never.
Negative 100,000 subscribers.
Everyone's unfollowed me.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, I don't want to talk about like figures and numbers and stuff when it comes to like things like ad revenue. But is there like a certain amount of money you'd be making a month for you to say, okay, I can just like do this full time?
That's a really good question.
Like, not to say that you need to say any numbers, but just do you have that? Like, would there be like a certain threshold? I guess.
Yeah, I suppose that. Well, yeah, I think there would be a threshold. I suppose. Well, it really depends. YouTube can be quite like fickle. Like it can change like anything it wants. Like I know one of my friends, their subscriber count changes a lot, and there's discrepancies. So I guess for me, the trust isn't quite there yet. And it's not that it's not doing okay, but it's just that there's so many discrepancies and it's kind of like I wouldn't trust it yet, definitely not to and also I like to put money into my channel, so whatever I earn just essentially go back into it, because I'm buying new set pieces and new materials to make the costumes. I'm kind of a sucker, really. I'm just feeding back into it.
No, I think that's a great like ethos and mentality to have. And I'm just like smiling the whole time, like listening to you say it, because it's just like it is just testament to like you and like who you are as a person and as like as a creator of art, I guess. Like it's just that is like it's just a really like modest recipe for success, and it's clearly it's clearly working.
Oh, thank you. I mean, somebody asked me, I think they were like, how many costumes do you have? Like, where do you get, do people send you them? And I'm like, gosh, no, I've literally been collecting them since I was a kid. Like, everything I earn goes into my hobbies, really. I've always been like that. And it won't make me a rich person, but it'll make me a happy one. So.
And that's all you need at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think happiness is worth more.
Yeah, we definitely need to go to Comic-Con together as well, by the way.
Yes, we will. We are definitely doing it. I can't wait.
I miss going to conventions so much.
Yeah, I would love to say that, but I've never been, so I would love to go.
Yeah, you definitely need to go then.
I know. See, I've never had any friends really that do it or that would want to go. But now I have you, so we're going, and it's going to be amazing. It's going to be so fun.
I need to buy that Spider-Man suit that we were talking about.
Yes,
I think
please.
I'm going to pull the trigger on it, even though it's like £400 or whatever it is.
No. Like, but this is what we do. We suffer and our banks cry because we just cosplay.
Yeah, I think it's just too cool.
Our banks are crying.
Too cool to not be Peter Parker for the rest of our life. Whenever I want to be, I could go shopping in my Spider-Man costume.
You absolutely can. I went through town with mine. One of my friends, bless him, and I don't know if he'll watch this, but if he does, he'll know what I'm talking about. I wore my Spider-Man suit one time. It was winter through town. It's like spandex, so it's so thin and it's freezing. And I remember going out with a coat, and bless him, he was taking photos for me, because I can't always take them myself. It's kind of awkward. I do, though. I do mostly take them myself, or, with time and things. But when I was in town, I was like, oh, please, can you come with me and like get a few shots? I completely underestimated the weather. And I had nothing else on, just this suit. And I was absolutely freezing. And you can see it on my face. You can see the pain and the redness of my nose. And I was like, we got to get the shot. But, oh my gosh, I never want to take that thing off. The Spider-Man suit is everything. But the RPC Studio ones are the best.
Yeah, I think that's really what I'm going to go for. Yeah.
Yeah. It's so worth it. It's so worth it.
It just feels so powerful in it.
Yeah, it will suit you. It will suit you so well.
Yeah. So yeah, I think, obviously we could talk for hours and hours, and hopefully in the future, I'll get you back on again, and we can.
Yeah, I would love that.
We can talk some more and reflect on where your channel was at now and where it is in the future.
Yeah.
But thank you for coming on and being the first guest.
Thank you. It's been such an honor. It's been such an honor being the first guest as well. And I was really excited about this. So thanks so much for having me on.
Yeah. Oh, honestly, it's been amazing just like getting to pick your brain on certain things and, get to like know your thought process and things like that. So I've super enjoyed it. Hopefully everyone watching has enjoyed it.
Yeah. Sorry about the Star Wars rant.
Yeah, we went off on a tangent there. And yeah, hopefully I wasn't too bad as a host, and I'm sure I'll get better doing more of these. But yes, please go and check out Lizzie's channel and all the social medias, which I'll put in the description. I think you just have a Instagram, right? You don't have a Twitter or...
No, just Instagram, yeah.
Okay. So all them links will be down in the video description, and I'll probably put them in as a top comment as well. So you physically don't have a reason not to go to a channel.
I'm everywhere. Thank you so much.
But yeah, again, I hope everyone listening enjoyed it. Please leave a like on the video. Comment down below what you thought, things you want to see. Any constructive criticism for me is really appreciated going forward. And maybe if you have any questions for Lizzie as well, then please fire them down below.
Yeah, please do.
But also, I really appreciate if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell icon as well, because that really helps everything. But yes, thank you guys for listening, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.